may we build a consciousness by which we can materialize money and success? This is a question in which we are all interested in, and which we will all learn to solve somewhere down the line of our cosmic journey. There is only one sure, certain, and never failing way, and that is, first, last, and all the time, to live in and affirm our oneness now with the currents which make for wealth, success, and harmony. We do this by affirming, I am wealth now, I am success now, I am harmony now, filling our thought world, our imagination, our field of consciousness with these thoughts, displacing again and again all thoughts of failure, lack, inharmony, etc., until we have established the fixed habit of living in and breathing these constructive thoughts, until we do this and consciously do it because it has become natural to us. Several years ago, I began to establish the habit of concentrating upon the thought of health, wealth, and harmony as I walked to and from my office. I was determined to build a consciousness of my oneness with these things and build it so strongly and powerfully that every atom of my body and environment would be so thoroughly impregnated with this thought, and its image would be so deeply stamped thereon that the time would come when it would be impossible for me to attract even one atom to either my body or environment which did not vibrate in perfect harmony with these three conditions. At first, I had to put my conscious mind upon my thought world every time I started out to walk. Many times I would forget it entirely. Again, I would remember it only when I was near my journey's end, while frequently I remembered when I first started out. No matter how often I forgot, I kept persistently vowing that I would never forget it again, with the result that today, whenever I start to walk anywhere, this habit has become so thoroughly fixed in my life that unconsciously and naturally, as the result of the habit, I begin to concentrate upon health, wealth, and harmony. Slowly, one by one, the things which do not harmonize with these conditions are being sloughed out of my life by the universal law, and in their stead, I am attracting the things which do harmonize with them. All of us, young as well as old souls, have generated an inexhaustible supply of constructive energy in the past. It is stored up for us in the universal energy, and we can relate with it at any time by continually and persistently realizing in our thought world that we have actually made the connection. The accumulated energy may be likened unto the ocean of water on the physical plane, the supply of which is limitless, but which is all enclosed by dams or leaves. Everywhere on all sides are little gates which, upon touching the proper button, may be opened and the water allowed to run along the channel into which it is directed. So this ocean of constructive energy which we have generated in the past may be drawn upon for anything we wish by touching, with our thought, the button which will raise the gate leading to the channel of wealth, of success, of harmony, or any other channel into which we may wish to direct this energy. As long as we give power to the things of the objective plane, we cannot say that the doing of certain things is good for everyone, or that the doing of certain other things is bad for everyone. There are some things that are more constructive in our lives than are others, not because they are necessarily any better, but because it is easier for us to take a more harmonious attitude toward them. It is therefore impossible for any teacher to lay down a law in the handling of things which is applicable to all persons under all conditions. This much we can say. that it is never the thing itself which is good or bad, which brings joy or sorrow, success or failure, but it is the attitude we take toward the thing. Then, in order to gain success, we should take a harmonious and constructive attitude toward everything that comes, and so keep ourselves perfectly harmonious, and in that way make of the thing simply a stepping stone to our success. What we permit ourselves to think about is what controls our attitude toward it. Thus, for instance, when we permit ourselves to condemn a thing because we say it is bad, or condemn some person for any cause whatever, that is taking a destructive attitude toward that thing or person, and no matter how just we may think our position in the case may be, we cannot relate with these negative destructive currents in our thought world and expect constructive and harmonious effects, any more than we can expect to walk through a mud hole without getting mud on us. A natural inquiry which would be made right here by the masses is this. Supposing someone should steal our pocketbook, are we to say that that is good and not to try to get it back or punish the thief should he be caught? Remember again that it is never the thing we do, but it is the way we do it, the consciousness back of the thing we do, that makes it constructive or destructive. We always have a perfect right, and it is always constructive to defend ourselves and our property, but it is just as surely destructive for us to step over the line of defense and into the line of offense or attack. The line of demarcation between defense and offense is so slight and so subtle that it is difficult for the evolving soul to determine just where defense ends and offense begins. Like everything else, however, the beginning and ending are in the thought world, in our consciousness. When we pursue a thief with a desire in our hearts to punish him, or when we attack someone in return in an attempt to defend ourselves from their attack, we are stepping over the boundary line or defense and are well into the vibrations of offense. When we condemn a thief or anyone else in our consciousness, no matter what they have done, we have again stepped over the line of defense and into that of offense. It is perfectly legitimate and constructive to analyze anything and everything, as long as we do not criticize or condemn. Jesus said, "I judge no man, neither doth my Father in heaven, which is Father in harmony, judge any man." He understood this law of harmony. The man who sells cotton goods under the representation that it is all wool, the man who forecloses a mortgage because the owner of the property cannot pay it when due, although he wants to pay it and would do so where it is possible for him to earn the money, the man who breaks into our place of business or our home and takes away our valuables without our permission, are one and all in the same class in this respect. That is, they are all working under the law of force. It is the only law they have ever known, and therefore the best thing they know how to do. They have not yet learned the law of harmonious attraction, nor the destructive effects of the law of force. It is true that the thief has learned that should they be caught, they will undoubtedly be sent to prison. They do not fear to steal because it is wrong or destructive, but only because they will be deprived of their liberty. The others, having nothing to fear in that respect, man-made laws being such as to protect them as far as prison sentences are concerned, go on under this law of force. They are all simply children in consciousness, in their soul development and unfoldment. Were they 2-year-old children in psyche and did these things, we would not condemn them. So why, knowing that they are children in consciousness, no matter how old they may be in years, as we measure time, should we condemn them? We should not. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. The universal law I will repay. We know that under the universal law, this is true. The Lord, the universal law, can only repay here on the objective plane through manipulating people and things, and so people and things become the instruments in the hands of the Lord of the universal law, which he uses to work out in us the effects of the causes we alone have created and set in motion. When we allow our consciousness to be filled with the desire to punish the thief who steals our pocketbook, we put ourselves in the negative destructive currents where the Lord, the universal law, can manipulate and use us as a destructive instrument to give the thief the destructive effects of the destructive causes with which he related when he took the pocketbook under the law of force. In becoming such a destructive instrument, we in turn set destructive causes in motion, the effects of which we will have to reap later on, and someone else, through the manipulation of the universal law, will be used as the destructive instrument to work out in our lives the effects of such causes. Again, it would be impossible for anyone to steal anything from us had we not, sometime before that, created in our thought world, through destructive and inharmonious thinking, the energy which, when embodied in form, related us with such a loss. This being the case, we can readily see that we must cease generating and relating with such negative energy should we desire to stop having such losses and discontinue registering the destructive effects of the negative energy we have created in the past. In defending ourselves objectively against such a loss, we have a perfect right to pursue the thief, capture him when we can, and obtain the return of our property. We also have a right to protect ourselves and society from the acts of such children in consciousness during the time they are being taught to displace the law of force with the law of harmonious attraction. And for this purpose, schools of detention, not prisons, should be established where those who commit such overt acts may be detained while taught more constructive methods. In the meantime, those in the outside of these schools of detention should also be taught this same truth, to the end that mankind everywhere may cease to set these destructive causes in motion which relate us with the destructive effects.